Do you have any respect for how hard it is to keep a game alive? There are just so many ways that video games die. But after a game dies, they don't just take the servers offline, and it's even rarer for a game to truly be forgotten about. And some games have been dead for literally decades and yet still have active player bases. What? There's a lot of confusion when it comes to the term dead. So let's try to explain what we mean with some fun examples. When Doom 1 came out in 1995, it set the absolute benchmark for how shooter games were gonna be made. For the next few years after 1995, every single PC shooter game was a Doom clone, up until Half-Life and Halo came out. Out of our modern perspective, Doom 1 is fairly squarely dead as all hell.
Get it? Because it's like the game's about hell.
But to this day, new Doom maps are being made and shared. Doom is what we would classically call a dead game, but it's really not dead. And that's because Doom captures the heart of its community. To this day, still, to this day, and Doom does it in a way that, let's not tiptoe around it, most current video games never will do. So looking at Doom's example, we see that the term dead to one person might just mean smaller than average community to another. It seems to me that the term dead is entirely subjective and that it depends on where you stand and what you're used to. So let's take an easier example. A game that's so niche that it might only still be played by like a handful of people still using MSN Messenger, such as the Trials Flash game series, which is still being played by an actual group on MSN called Clan Trials. Shout out to Jacoby, the clan leader of Clan Trials. To actually play the original Trials series, you'll need to download them first off of some Russian Flash game repository, and then you need to code your own compiler to make sure that it actually runs, and it's just downhill from there. No pun intended. With no disrespect to the Trials clan, I think we can all say that the Trials Flash game series is objectively dead. Yet, Trials has sick game DNA. Like, whoa! Ridiculously rancid, brother, man. That's crazy. Trials' simple gameplay of keeping a 2D motorbike balanced blew the gate open for a whole new genre of movement video games. So even though Trials might be well and truly objectively dead, the DNA of Trials lives on in all the games that it inspired. So in this way, the game's not actually dead, it's more enjoying like an eternal afterlife, akin to that of the Holy Prophet, Jeff Saladin, of the Salad Enjoyer religion. May his ranch dressing ever be potent. Wait, hold on there, Nisse, creator of famous Nisse channel, like and subscribe. What you're saying right now is nonsense. Let's not forget the fact that Trials is hella dead. On a stack, real talk. Let's not forget that Trials is actually objectively dead, like as dead as a game could be. Why are you trying to define something that's clearly dead as not dead? Well, that's elementary, not Nisse. Because right now, we're taking what is an emotional term and defining it literally. What I'm doing is that I'm missing the forest for the trees. When people say that a game is dead, they're not actually talking about the concurrent player base or the game's amount of game babies. I think our talk today leads to this little conclusion. When we say that a game is truly dead, what we mean is that the game's spirit has left our hearts. Whether that spirit originally was the excitement that the game captured, or those magical first experiences with a video game, or maybe it was just special to share with friends. I think that dead is when you can't help but feel that you're never gonna have that experience again. When those magical experiences that we once had now have come to an end, and the game has just become some cash farm for a publisher. And whether that's literally true or not, it feels like the game has died. Luckily, this is an unnecessarily pessimistic way of looking at things. Games don't just disappear because we stop playing them. The spirit of a game is like cinders. If you want it to burn brighter, you just gotta breathe some life into it. truly, games are more accessible now than ever before. If you miss getting pizza and playing Mario Party 3 with your boys, you can still do that with an emulator with NetPlay. And with online and local LANs, you can relive 1.6 with your peeps. And there are more niche video game communities now than ever before that anyone can join. And they're only becoming more. If you really miss those times of playing Unreal tournaments with your classmates while you're on Ventrilo together, you can do it. If you miss playing Trials with your e-girlfriend over MSN, download it. If you want to connect with some Korean guy while he's smashing you in StarCraft 1, do it. No game ever needs to stay dead. Just blow life into it. Like Manic Miner, whose legacy I now impart to you. Manic Miner is this great game. Let's forget about Manic Miner. My main point here that I want you to grab onto is I hate the term dead for like describing anything. And I really never want to say that something ever was, because if we're still talking about it, it's still with us. Whether a game or a special moment or, you know, Jeff Saladin. Saying that something is just blanket dead is a lazy way of explaining the feelings that are in your heart. And I want to close off this video by saying, if you ever feel feelings in your heart, then you're always more than welcome. What's that sound? Oh no, can you guys hear it too? I think it's coming from the BBBOBM. The big bad box of bad memories. The big bad box of bad memories. The big bad box of bad memories. Oh no! Live from Brooklyn, it's me, not Nisse. You thought you could get rid of me that easily? I'm back, and I'm here to tell you about games that were never even alive in the first place. Stay tuned for part 2, baby! Oh no, I've fallen over and I totally can't get up and I'm so helpless. Oh no, if you don't subscribe within the next 5 seconds, Not Nisse is totally gonna eat my ass on camera, on film, like right now. Totally. Why aren't you subscribing?
Subscribe now not to miss the thrilling conclusion.